Hey y'all, this was some Phil. 6 days ago, I did a walking vlog. Um, it was my reflection on a podcast I'm listening to called Right Now with Sarah Warner, episode 22. The question is, was I meant to be a writer? And it didn't upload for some reason. And what was weird is it didn't give me an error code or anything like that. It just didn't upload. Um, I like to think that it's because I have an iPhone 4. I, I I've uploaded other things, like my test. I did that on my phone. It's uploaded. But I'm gonna do a kind of a reflection, kind of a response on episode 22. Uh, was I meant to be a writer? And as with anything with me, um, this comes down to a spiritual thing. This is theology for me. Whenever you talk about being meant to do something, that fatalisticness is just, yeah, you gotta put it in God's hands. Like, it comes from God or something. We have the choice, but we have choices to make. God's decided it, and people are like, so you believe in predestination? Like, not in the human way, no, but God knows everything we're gonna do, everything we're going to become, and every step we're going to, but we don't. We don't know what we're going to do. So there is a choice. We do have choices. But God, God dictates it all. God created it all. That's what I should say. God created it. God sees the beginning and the end. He sees what's going to happen in between. He sees it all. Um. Okay, but that kind of goes away from the question. Was I meant to be a writer? I don't like lighting in the morning. Um, okay. I was just talking about the word meant. Now, Sarah Warner is the host of this podcast. She's a writer. She's been a writer for years. And she provides advice to people who are writing and how to balance, life and work and family and writing and everything. And episode 22, she read most of the letter from a listener named Amanda, and kind of reflected on that, responded to it. The main question was it meant to be a writer? Can I not be a writer? Okay, those are two different questions, but they're kind of related. Was I meant to be a writer? Are you kind of addressed that? But if you have to ask, then you were. I'm just saying. I mean, if you have to ask, and if there's no clear no or yes. Now, okay, was I meant to be a writer? I'd known it since I could write. That I was meant to be a writer. It Then there's another question later on I'll have to address. Prioritizing what kind of writer and that sort of thing. But was I meant to be a writer? There's no question. To me, there was no question. If you have to ask, was I meant to do this? Then more than likely you're meant to do it. Unless you're crazy. You ask yourself, like, am I meant to be a murderer? If you answer yes, then you're just crazy. It's just because it violates I don't know, a lot of spiritual laws, but also just violates regular law. Murder? Come on, really? No, but okay, if I ask myself, I mean, it would never even occur to me to ask myself the question, am I meant to be a plumber? It wouldn't occur to me because, duh, no, it's a clear no. I don't know anything about pipes, about anything about flowing, water, oil, whatever other liquids are in the pipes, or gases. I know you have to get a plumbing license to do natural gas or something. You see, I don't even know. So that question would never come up to me. Okay, but the question, phrased another way, should I be a writer? People say you should do this, you shouldn't do that, you should do. But see, all those shoulds, they don't matter. They don't matter because of the choice that I told you. It's the free will. It's the element of choice. If someone says you shouldn't do that or you should do that, great. I'll take it under advisement, but I make the final choice whenever someone tells me what I should and shouldn't do. Yeah, when it comes to like being a writer, really? If you can do it, if you have talent, then you need to do it. You're supposed to do it. If you're talent. What kind, though? That's what the question leads to, what it begs, really. What kind of writer? Now, I put off being a professional writer. Yeah, I'm 38. I've done it my entire life, put it off. I mean, there have been a few times I've been paid for things, but come on. It's not worth it. But, so is what kind of writer? Are you going to be a writer? Is it just going to be a hobby? Is it going to be your main source of income? Is it going to be part of your job? Are you going to freelance? Whatever. I mean, there are lots of different kinds. The kind of writer I want to become. Now it's because as I see it, unless you're really a big name, you don't just put pen to paper, print it off, or whatever, and then you're done. That's not it. Because even if you sell to a big publisher, one of the big five or however many there are now, really. But even if you sell to one of them and you get your royalty, you have to do the marketing yourself. Because they'll put it out a press release, they'll put your name in their catalog, and that's all they'll do. You won't sell books. So you become your writer and a marketer. You have to be. That's if you go the route of the big publisher, which I'm not. Never. I mean, if I've already got a proven track record and somebody comes and says, I want to buy your book, I might let them buy it then. I guess it's not never. I'm not really into absolutes because you never know what's going to happen. You don't know. But right now, I don't foresee ever going to a publishing house. Because it doesn't pay. You have to do the marketing yourself. You get more of the profit if you actually produce and publish your own stuff. You get more control over the work because if you sell it to a big publisher, they can, make changes to the cover, and it's like, no, they can change the formatting. No, if it's in bold, they want to leave it in bold. Just stuff like that, and you have a lot more control. You get a lot more money if you're an independent publisher. That's what kind I want to be. I mean, I want to be the kind that wears multiple hats. Does the writing, does the marketing, does the selling, does graphic design, does finding editors. Because you can't edit your own work. I mean, you can, but it's not going to be publishable. It's not going to be clean until you have someone else read it. Someone else edit it. You have to have another set of eyes. So, but I'm going to find that stuff. Independent agent. This is my corporate name. It's not really, because my corporate name, I'm just going with Wilson Phil. That's me. I'm DBA, doing business as, but the corporate name, Wilson Phil Independent Publishing Agent. Because I plan on helping other people do this. really. I mean, hey, there's a business to be had. I'll still be a writer. Just be a writer / publisher. That's what kind I want to be. And what genre? My novel right now is probably would be classified as science fiction. I could see myself branching into, doing like fantasy, because fantasy has more of a mystery fantasy element. I write poetry. I've written a stage play, and I've written a screenplay. Neither one of those, of course, haven't published or produced, but they will be eventually. I do a lot of nonfiction memoir style, just reflection. Hey, it's whatever. This is too long probably for YouTube. They probably will fail or not post, but I'm gonna try now anyway.